We had a little accident. Emily crashed into a tree and got a gash in her head. So.
Whoa.
Emily. On Married at First Sight, we saw the aftermath of Emily's scary ATVing accident. Thankfully, it looks like she's going to be okay, despite everything that happened last episode.
Well, as you guys know, we went ATVing and
We had a little accident. Emily crashed into a tree and got a gash in her head. So.
Emily.
Gash in her head?
yeah, the branch went under her helmet and
She got a nice little cut from it. So
Damn.
we're waiting now to get some stitches.
she missed every major part she could have damaged. So nothing major happened. We just gotta get this wound closed up and get her looking back to her pretty self.
Brennan says he's grateful that she's going to be okay and talked about their bond through the ordeal.
She got quite the gash. Her head is split open about 4.5 inches from her forehead all the way, to her scalp. So she's ultimately gonna need plastic surgery, but she's gonna be okay, which is a huge sigh of relief for me. And the fact that we were able to overcome it together shows the type of bond we do have and, who we are as people and why I think we're meant to be in each other's lives.
Things escalated, but that is us.
Quite quickly.
But we're here.
Chloe and Michael are getting ready to head to the couples retreat, and Chloe is still struggling with Michael's fashion choices.
I cannot wait to see what the couples have to say about that skirt.
How surprised would you be if one of the other guys was wearing something almost identical?
Oh, there is not I would bet every last dime of the Powerball that I don't have to worry about that. It's still taken me some time to get used to it with Michael's fashion choices. I don't want to dwell on it, but it's not easy when this is what he's wearing.
Once they got to the retreat, they opened up to the other couples about how they've been handling things since getting married at first sight.
Pretty much every substantial topic that we've covered thus far, we have been very much aligned on our value system, our perspective. So I was just thinking, what if we weren't aligned? Like, how much more challenging would that have been to kind of work through and find a common ground of understanding?
Right.
Things are gonna get more challenging, I have no doubt about it, but the one thing I've been really intentional with over the past 2 years is just becoming the best possible communicator that I can be.
I think as long as you're giving each other grace in spaces where you're like, okay, we're strangers actually, we're trying to form this bond, I guess we're gonna be great.
Things got tense at dinner when Orion said that he wants to bridge the gap with Lauren, but she said she feels like he's a different person around the group than he is when he's alone with her.
Orion has a great demeanor when it comes to addressing the group as a whole versus talking to me. In between, when we film, there's no conversation. There is no reaching out, or even last night, we spent the whole night talking and chatting with everyone, and there was never any indication of him wanting to have a conversation. So it doesn't seem authentic, it doesn't seem real, it's just frustrating.
They ended up having a one-on-one chat after dinner, and Lauren straight up told him to his face that she thinks he's being fake.
It doesn't seem fair for you to want to team up and be partners in our divorce when I feel like I didn't get that type of partnership in our marriage. I didn't get that type of partnership when you solely decided you wanted a divorce. I didn't get a say in what happened with us, and that really hurt my feelings. You could have just pulled me to the side yesterday and said, hey, at some point I do want to have a conversation with you. You could have texted, you could have called. And it just feels like you only put me on the spot in front of other couples. So when you bring things up, it just doesn't feel real.
Orion apologized for being distant and says that he wants to have a friendship with her. But Lauren is basically saying too little, too late.
This time, 3-4 weeks ago, I was in a very different mental state, a very different heart state. Definitely holding out on love, and I don't know why I was holding out for so long for you to reach out.
I had no idea.
I didn't expect it to feel like a real breakup considering it was so short, but it did. But I feel like, all this would have been really good for my soul 3 weeks ago, really good for maybe us 3 weeks ago, but now it's like to me it feels like this is a great effort and a great step, but it's like still, damn, where was this?
Emily and Brennan came back to the house, and poor Emily, she was remaining upbeat somehow despite the harrowing situation.
Oh man,
You're
like
a trooper,
literally,
Emily.
this is why you always wear helmets, you guys. Like, I would have been dead. Everyone told me. So it was a day, unexpected. Woke up, looked great, came back. Now I look like Frankenstein. But I'm alive.
And you're in such good spirits. I know this is like a little thing, a little silver lining, but I do love that you're always just like, yeah.
I've never had a black eye. I've never been in an ambulance.
So you're knocking off all
Never had
the
a
bucket
head
list
injury.
items.
things that weren't even on her bucket list.
You know, if you weren't looking at her and just hearing her, you would think that nothing ever happened. You know, I think a lot of people would have handled the situation very differently. And the fact that she is taking it so positively and being so good about everything, it just shows, you know, a testament to her character. But I know that I need to step up and be there for her. So I want to do everything in my power to make sure that she has a speedy and healthy recovery.
And it seems like going through that traumatic experience together really brought them closer.
I think for us, you know, we went through something very traumatic together, and I really believe, as unfortunate as it was, if we look at it from like a positive standpoint, I think it really brought us closer together, and wish we went about it a different way.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah. I feel like we got stronger, which was what I ultimately wanted.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I wouldn't have ever imagined it would have gone down this way. While it was very extreme, I think brought us stronger, and now I'm excited to like go into a normal week together.
Things aren't going so great for Becca and Austin. She's still really upset about their lack of intimacy, but he's over talking about it.
It's like this is a conversation that we have repeatedly, and it's always left with a promise of, I will do better, I promise I desire you, and what happens is nothing.
Do you think this is going well? This conversation?
I don't think that talking about it is unhelpful for me.
Okay.
Like, I just want you to want me,
Right.
and that hasn't really happened yet.
Well, I do. And I thought you, like, believed me, and...
I do want to believe you.
Okay. I was hoping tonight would end on, like, a good note so we could see what would happen, and now I feel like that's not happening.